Hey, hey, hey. Hello, Facebook. Hello, everyone. I hope you are all doing wonderfully well today. It's your girl, Crystalline Roberts, and I'm here with transformational coach, Miss Olivia Shepherd. And we're just going to share a little inspiration on this Aspire Thursday. Olivia, how are you?
Great. I'm doing great. Thank you for allowing me into your space. I am so happy to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. It is my pleasure to have you. Thank you for saying yes. I do believe that, everybody's going to receive value. You are an amazing woman. You do so many things. You have so many gifts, talents, and abilities. And I just wanted to be able to give you an opportunity to kind of share that with the people today. So, yeah. So a few weeks ago, I posted, what would you talk about for about 30 minutes with no preparation? And you responded. I loved your response. You said mental health and entrepreneurship. So we had, chatted a little bit previously about some of the entrepreneurial ventures that you've done and that you are doing. But what out of all the things that you do, what encouraged you to say those things? Why were those things on your heart?
Well, because with I think with dealing with being a business owner and having suffering from mental health issues, what I don't think women I think women are afraid to say I'm tired. I think women are afraid to say, I don't feel good today. I think women are afraid to say, well, you know what, I can't show up for myself. I can't be there for myself today. And so this is what made me, go into the coaching, transformational coaching, and including the mental health with my transformational coaching, because I get so many women that come to me that suffer from depression, anxiety. I myself am bipolar, so I am diagnosed as bipolar, and what happens with that is depression takes everything out of you. And mental
Mm-hmm.
health takes everything out of you all day long. See, it's I like to say when I see some of the women on here, on our Facebook and our Instagram, groups or whatever, and they're showing you how easy it looks. They're looking beautiful. They're looking glamorous. And so I have nothing against those women who make it look so easy. But I always shout out to the women that just get up out of the bed. I always shout out
Absolutely.
to the woman that finally gets to put her hair together. I'll always
Mm-hmm.
shout out to the woman that is opening up her phone and don't see any sales from her Shopify account or any book sales. So those are the women that I cater to, because they, the confidence, the low self-esteem, because of the fact that they suffer from mental health issues. But
Mm-hmm.
because we as African American women are supposed to be superheroes, so we're
Right.
supposed to do everything. We're not supposed to lay down. We're not supposed to be tired. We're not supposed to be, just exhausted. We're supposed to go, 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 go. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So when I talk about mental health and entrepreneurship, because people don't tell you the bad side of
So
entrepreneurship.
true.
People don't tell
Absolutely.
you the days that you do open up your Shopify account and you don't have any sales, how
Mm-hmm.
depressed, how unworthy you feel, how you feel like your stuff is not adding up. I run a t-shirt business. Everybody does t-shirts. I don't do t-shirts the way other people do t-shirts, but guess what? Sometimes that takes a toll on me, because I'm like, okay, how come this person is selling 1,000 and I'm selling 100 or two?
Right. Right.
So, when we suffer from, when you're suffering from mental health issues, because you start to get those self-doubts, you start
Mm-hmm.
worrying, you start to comparing, start the comparison trap, where we're comparing my
Absolutely.
business, somebody else's business. And so the women that I deal with that come to me, I don't specifically deal with mental health because I'm not a licensed professional. When it
Mm-hmm.
comes to the health part, I actually give them my experience of what I go through, the things that I have done, the coping skills that I use to get past those things so that you can continue in your businesses. Because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people want to give up. A lot of people come to me, and if they don't get a sale, they want to give up. They don't think that their
Right.
stuff is good. I get women
Mm-hmm.
that come who want this elaborate mission statement, this elaborate vision statement. I'm like, girl, no, ma'am. People don't want to read that.
Right.
You know, what they're doing is they're trapped in the comparison mode. You know, so when they come to me, it's the comparison mode that they're in, and I have to try to get them out of that. You know, or coming to me, they're stuck. They don't know how to do content. They don't know what content to do. They don't know what audience. And it's all because they are suffering from some other things that they need to out before. And so that's why I kind of dropped the business coach part of my coaching, because a lot of people will come to me, they want to know about LLCs, they want to know all those things, right? And I don't teach that stuff in my groups. I don't really teach that stuff to the women that I deal with, because my thing is, mindset is not right, you're not going to do anything in business. So I don't care how many LLCs you have. If you are unstuck up here, if your mindset is a hot mess, then you can have that LLC all you want, and you're not going to do anything. Because just because you have an LLC behind your name doesn't mean your business is all of that. You know,
You're
people
exactly right.
getting LLCs just because, but they don't know anything else behind that. Then you're working. I have one lady came to me, and she was dealing with some things with her son and some other stuff. And then she came to me. She was like, "Well, I have my LLC and I have this website, and I paid this lady $3,500 for the website." And I'm like, "Lady, you know, you got to deal with what you're dealing with first. Okay,
Right.
this is why your business is a mess, because your mind is. So that's when I deal with these women, it's on the mental health level as well, but it's about changing your mindset. It's about trying to get you to a level where you can open up your Shopify account and say, I didn't make a sale today. Okay, well, let me see what I can do different. Okay.
Absolutely.
So that's the level that I want to get, you know, to them too. But before we get to that level, we have to heal some of those old past wounds in order to grow those life skills, you know, and then your lifestyle so that your business and your mindset can flourish.
Yes, I love that, because first of all, you're very relatable and just real. And all those things that you're saying, it's like, we don't get to really see that much, because of course, we see the real life these days, REEL life, not the REAL life,
Exactly.
and we see all the highlights and all those things, and it does make it seem like, everybody's successful and it's so easy. And the thing is, it's not. Entrepreneurship is hard. Being an employee is hard.
Yeah.
You got to choose your hard. But like you said, you have to get your mindset together first, and whatever direction you're going to go, you got to have your mindset together for sure. And so I love that, that you help women with that, and you get, and through experience, because really that's experience, and modeling is really even more valuable than the words that we say, right? Like, people want to see you live it.
Exactly. And see, I started my cleaning business 20 years before there was a social media, before there was anything. So I wasn't comparing my cleaning business, my small cleaning business, to Mary Maids. You know, I wasn't comparing myself because I didn't see these people. You know, you saw them
That's
in the
right.
neighborhoods I would go in, but they were in cars where I was in like a 95 Ford Taurus. I'm talking about just broke down, transmission was bad. I mean, that's how I started off, you know.
Right.
Like, I didn't have any employees. I just had just me and my cleaning supplies, and that was it. And I didn't even have any clients when I started off. But I didn't have to go through the scariness of preparing myself. So I was okay doing those years. Now, as I started businesses now, it looks a lot different, because now, you're like, okay, it's coaching for me. People will tell me, well, everybody's a coach. Everybody's a doctor. Y'all don't say anything to those people. Everybody's a
True.
dentist. There's 100 different types of bread. How come I can't be one too? So you
Right.
have to, I have to. That's what I deal with my women. I'm like, you can be, if you want to call yourself a sexologist, coach, that's what you want to be. That's what you can do. This is not a regulated field, actually. So,
Right.
it's not like something we got to get regulated. I'm certified as a transformation coach, and I get the training, but you don't have to do all of that stuff. It's just not, some of those things you don't have to do. But I think we follow the fads, and people don't see what it's like when you're creating content and you only get that one like, or you only get two. Nobody speaks on that, because all they see is the glamorous coaching. I mean, they see all of those things first, but nobody is telling you the backstory. Like you said, the backstory. So I like to prepare my clients' minds for the day that when you see something that's going to be exactly like yours, but she might be doing it better.
Right.
Prepare for that. Okay.
Right.
You got to be prepared for that. And if you're not prepared for that mentally, you're not going to be financially free and all of these things that you want if your mind is not right. I'm sorry. I am adamant about having your mindset working properly before you start a business, because it is hell business. It's hell being in business, because there's going to be days when there are days when I don't even get a t-shirt sale.
Right.
There are days I don't get clients. There are days that some of my views I only get 2 views. I'm speaking for myself at this point. And you have to be, and there are days when you get discouraged. And especially when you suffer from mental health issues, the first thing that pops in your mind is, I'm not good enough. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say. And so on and so on. So that's what I bring to the women. I have to keep building their self-esteem, trying to help their confidence, and then we can get into the great content, because I hear a lot of people say, well, your content probably is trash. That's not true. Maybe it's just not their time. And I do believe in God, and I do believe in special time. And so sometimes, maybe it's just not their time right now, but just keep going, because somebody sees what you're doing.
I totally agree with that. I certainly believe that there are seasons, and I don't believe, I believe that we're all, gifted with certain things, certain abilities. And like you said, there can be more than one person that has something similar, but nobody's exactly like you. So whatever, if he's placed it in you, then it's supposed to come out, because it's going to affect somebody. I always say, I believe that every person is an answer to somebody's problem. So it's like they've got, I'm the same as you as far as like encouraging people like, hey, go for it and do it, because you don't have that gift, that dream, that idea just to have it in your head. It's supposed to come out and be birthed into the earth. But like you said, the seasons, you have to be aware, of the seasons and the timing of, okay, is this when it's supposed to be? Is this how I'm supposed to do it? Is this where I'm supposed to do it? But you said a mouthful when you were talking about confidence in general, because I can remember being the same way back in 2016. It's like I had known for a few years that I was supposed to be a coach. Like I was getting it from all sorts of directions. At that time, I was a full-time dental hygienist and had been for a number of years. And I mean, I'd have different patients come and say it. Then, my son's karate sensei would say, I mean, it was just coming from everywhere. And so, but that fear was there, because I was thinking, well, is that even, I know people do that, but is that even really a lucrative thing? Can I even have a profession as that? I'm used to that cookie cutter, you go to school, you get a degree, you follow those steps. And so like initially I felt like, oh, I need to go and get, certified. But after I did it, I realized that was really just for me, so I could have the confidence, because like you said, it's not regulated. The certification is not necessary, but when you're struggling with your confidence, it's like you feel like you need every certification, you need the perfect mission statement, but like, we can't let those things be stumbling blocks either. It's like you gotta just go sometimes.
When you have that in you, and you said, about it being lucrative, because my husband was like, nobody's going to pay you for this stuff.
My mom said the same thing. She's like, people pay for that?
People pay for that. And I'm like, yes, there are people out here that pay, just because you wouldn't pay for it, and my audience isn't you. But there are people that pay me to help them go, just like I paid coaches.
Absolutely.
I have a YouTube coach, just to help me with YouTube. And I'm not even on YouTube. I mean, I go on there, every now and then when I do my lives. But, I was just, I had a YouTube coach. People pay.
Absolutely.
And, my husband's biggest thing is, well, people only want to pay you to make money. I said, well, people are not going to be able to make money if their mindset bad, because people can tell when you don't have the confidence in your own product. So how are they going to make money? I
That's
have to
true.
keep trying to tell him that it doesn't matter about making the money. People they want to make the money, but I'm sorry, I'm not buying something from somebody who's scared, because I can see.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to boost these women's self-esteem, to make sure that they get out there and stop trying to put out. Like I started a podcast. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have any training. I didn't have anything. I didn't know anything about a podcast. I was recording on my phone. I didn't know anything, and I just did it. And my
Yes.
voice already sounds like I have a sinus infection 24 hours a day, every day for 365 days a year. Excuse me. So but my voice, I was like, my voice is not radio like.
Oh
You
my
think you have
goodness.
this cute voice, So I was like, who's gonna want to hear this nasal talking person? But then you know what? I got past that because the knowledge I was spitting, on this podcast, I got past that. I don't care what my
Absolutely.
voice sounds like as long as what I'm giving you is something that's going to help you get to where you need to go. So
Mm-hmm.
so the money will come, and I'm in that era now. I'm in that era right now where I had retired from cleaning last year, and
Mm-hmm.
so I don't care to clean anymore. It's not something I want to do. I did it for 20 years. I'm over it, and I'm being led and called to this particular thing, And when I got my degrees at a later age in my life, and my last degree was an organization and leadership degree, and
Mm-hmm.
my first one was early childhood. To be honest, I really don't like children like that to teach them. Like I don't mind
Mm-hmm.
being around them, but no, it wasn't my thing. Just wasn't my thing. I'm sorry. I love other people's children as long as they don't come to me. And so
Right.
I was
Listen.
great. I was great at teaching. And
Mm-hmm.
so maybe me getting that was teaching me to be able to teach people. So
That's
I didn't
right.
know where I was going with that. So my husband gets so upset, was like, you got that degree for no reason. I'm like, no, technically, no, I didn't. And that also goes with my second degree because it's leadership, it's organization, community. That's going to be the things that I'm trying to do. So when you
Mm-hmm.
have the biggest thing you have to realize too is to let go the naysayers. And if you don't get your mindset right, you will have yourself fulfilling other people's dreams and letting go yours. You'll start
That
doing
is
what
true.
people tell you to do, and you'll stop everything that you're doing. I cold-heartedly feel it, and I said it today when I was walking my pup, and I was walking in the and I walk out in the woods and stuff, and I was just like, I know that this is something. You know how you just feel it?
Oh, yes.
Feel this in my spirit, that this is something. And I can't shake that feeling that I have that this is for me.
Mm-hmm.
What I want people to realize that don't do it for what the lucrative money things look like on Facebook or on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
The girls with the cute bodies and the this is how you should grab the bag. But who are you inspiring?
Right.
You're not inspiring me. And it trips me out when I see some of the wellness coaches, the other wellness coaches, where they're telling me to drink this tea, and I'm like, you want me to drink a tea, but you didn't tell me the part that you went and cut out some of your body parts.
Right.
See,
Right.
so
We got to tell the whole story.
you got to give me the whole story. Tell me when you was 575 pounds. Keep showing me that picture. Then tell me, because my self-esteem was so low, I went and got surgery. I
Mm-hmm.
want
Mm-hmm. Right.
so
Absolutely. The real.
those women as my inspiration. I don't look at those people.
Mm-hmm.
I call myself Lady O, but my real inspiration of the real Lady O is Oprah. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
people don't know she started off being just like me, being raped by her father.
Mm-hmm.
Pregnant. She wasn't
Mm-hmm.
always a millionaire when she started off.
No.
That's my inspiration. And
Mm-hmm.
the real Lady O suffered through everything: weight loss, weight gain, all of those things. Not being on TV because she was too fat. That's the inspiration that I draw from. And some of these women, you have to stay. I tell people to take social media breaks, stay off of it. But
Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen is it ruins you. Not only does it ruin children, it ruins women too.
That's
It
true.
lowers self-esteem because you're looking at what they're doing and you're saying to yourself, I'm not there yet. And now
Mm-hmm.
that you are not good enough to be where they're at. And
Mm-hmm.
now you're scrambling around because now I get these people. Well, I don't want to start my podcast, or I don't want to I don't want to write the book, or I don't see now because I told you to stay off social media.
Right,
And I get
right.
now there are days I get that way, but I just say, you know what? I know what's for me. I think in my case, it's my divine timing. And
That's
I think
right.
this wasn't my time this year. So I'm okay with that now.
Right.
Because I pray about it and I say, well, you know what, God, this is what we almost in a couple of days, out for the new year. Okay,
Right.
this year was showing me things. People need to read the signs. You need to see the flags. Don't see your failures and those failures as, oh, I failed and I'm done.
Right.
Read the signs. Why didn't this work out? What is God trying to tell you? And this year God was trying to tell me a lot of things, and He did, and I was listening. So when you get your mindset together, you can have that lucrative business. But until then, fighting mental health and entrepreneurship is going to be a struggle for you.
Right, right. Definitely that comparison is certainly a thief of joy for sure, and like we said, you do have to choose your hard, being an employee is hard, entrepreneurship's hard, but at the same time, like you said, when you know that this is what you're supposed to do, you want to be able to stick with it on those hard days, on those happy days, on those sad days. But when you're constantly comparing to other people and social media, especially because it's just so easy to just see all the, all the highlights of everything that looks wonderful. You don't know the real inside scoop. We just see that outside that looks great. It's so easy for that to rob you of your joy and you being able to learn and enjoy from the journey. And like you said, this year, just because whatever that big goal is that you said didn't happen this year doesn't mean it's not for you. There are all sorts of things that we have to learn along the way, and once we get there, we'll be able to look back and say, oh, now it makes sense. But as you're going through it, you just have to trust and believe that there's a greater plan, and not give up on that. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yes, yes, yes.
And that's where my coaching comes in. That's what I try. That's what we work on mindset. We work on forgiveness, because you have to forgive yourself for not knowing the things you should when you should have. A lot of people don't take responsibility for the actions that you failed. Why? Maybe it was your fault why you failed. It wasn't somebody else's fault. I mean, I go through the long way of teaching and coaching, whereas like in my group, a lot of people, in my group, I know they're like waiting for me to bring them things about business grants. I'm not doing that.
Right.
Because if you can't handle your finances personally, how you gonna handle business finances?
Right. Right.
I'm one of those.
Exactly.
I'm a drill sergeant. Like I'm like, hey, because I know who I was. So well, she's not a business coach. No, I'm not the business coach that you want, because I'm not the one. I'm not going to help you market yourself when you don't even want to get out of bed because your mindset is not here.
Absolutely.
So how do I teach you to market? I mean, I can teach you, but if you're not going to get any results because you haven't worked on your mindset.
That's right.
And until you get that together, you're not going to be able to perform at this particular level, because once you get here, you're going to have to realize that there are going to be days when things don't work out.
Right. Exactly.
For that. And if you're not prepared for that, you're not going to make it successfully in your businesses. I was in my cleaning business for 20 years, and I didn't have all the things that other companies had. I and employees. I was just out here just straight cleaning houses. But I guess what I did have, I had talent. I knew how to clean. I had good customer service. I dressed the part. I didn't look like a housekeeper when I came to these expensive houses. I looked just like this. I would go with my hair laid out, my nails was done. They used to be tripping like, how you don't clean with those nails? I'm like, girl, just give me a second. I got this. Okay. I got this, They used to be so shocked, like, how, and they used to be longer back then. And they used to be like, how you don't clean with those nails? And I'm like, I got this, because I had confidence in my abilities, and my mental health issues didn't start kicking in until later long in life. But back then I had a 5-year-old kid, a little boy, but I needed to get myself working, and I wanted to get off Section 8. I wanted to be that parent. I didn't want to be on Section 8 the rest of my life. So I needed to do something. And back then, people were starting businesses. Now, I wish I had a business mentor back then. I wish I had all those things that I can get now that is so readily available for us now. Now, I wish I had now, and this is why I push, and I tell my husband too, people do pay for that because people do need the encouragement. People
absolutely
need the encouragement. They need somebody to say, I don't feel like posting today. How do I post? What do I do? And you need somebody to kick you swift in the butt and say, hey girl, this is about you. You got what it takes to do this. You know,
that's right.
that's why I have a text and an email list that I send out every morning. You know, remember when Russell Simmons, I think it was it Russell Simmons who used to sit in the bathtub and send out inspirational texts to everybody? Well, that's me. Yeah, I couldn't remember where I had saw that, but it was him. And now it just came to me today. I had to think about that all the time. But he would just send out inspirational texts to everybody. And this is what I every single solitary day, Monday through Sunday. I send out inspirational emails and texts to people who are on my list who want to get it. You know, and some days I don't even know what I'm going to text you. I just let it, you know,
absolutely.
And that's what people need in order for them to be lucrative in your business, because there are going to be times when and even if you're not in business, because we keep saying business, but what about the women that are sitting in a cubicle who don't have the confidence to go ask for that job, that higher position?
Absolutely, because we're all the CEOs of our own lives. You know, whether you physically have your own business, your life is your business. You know, we all have to mind the business that pays us, whether you are working for someone else, you know, whatever you're doing, you know, taking care of your children, all that, you know, absolutely. It applies, that mindset piece applies to any goal, anything you have to accomplish in life. And kind of like, you know, going back to what you said before, you know, even without a business mentor, you were still able to do it when you had your 5-year-old son, because you had that motivation of, hey, you know, you're a mom, you know, and you're a Black mom on top of that. So, you know, we make it do what it do. So, you know, you had that motivation of, I can't fail him, you know, because sometimes it's easier for us to not fail somebody else. You know, even before we think about ourselves, we'll do it for somebody else. Sometimes that's the motivation, you know, that we need, that we will keep going and do what we have to do. So that's awesome. That is amazing to me. And I love it, love it, love it. You know, and I have enjoyed this. This has been awesome to me. I see Miss Linda says she loves it. Naomi says it's very inspirational. So you are definitely providing so much value. And that's the whole thing. That's what Aspire Thursdays is about. Just, I love hearing the hearts of women. I'm very passionate about, you know, the needs of women and just them being heard, and that encouragement piece. That's I love that. And so I definitely want, you know, my people to be able to connect with you. So what's the best way for them to be able to get in touch with you if they're looking for a transformational coach, or if they just want to get on your list so that they can receive some encouragement and motivation? You know, if they resonated with your story and they just want to hear a little bit more, how can they connect with you?
Well, I'm on Instagram, all over Instagram and Facebook, and it's going to be Olivia B. Shepherd. So don't forget that B, because if you pull up Olivia Shepherd, you're going to pull up somebody else. It's not going to be me. So you make sure it's going to be Olivia B. Shepherd across all social media. OliviaBShepherd.org is my website. I have, and if you do want to get onto my list, you can definitely DM me on Facebook. You can DM me your email or your actual personal cell phone number. You'll get the messages early in the morning. I don't know your time zone. Mine is Eastern Standard Time zone. So if I feel the spirit at 6 o'clock in the morning, you might get that text. So don't be like, early. Or sometimes I might get that at 9, because you know it just depends on how I feel. You know,
Absolutely.
Group. I'm going to be going into a new direction in January with my Heal, Grow, Transform Academy, where I'm going to be having women, all of us, maybe 12 women, join together like a boot camp, you know, maybe, and we'll work on all these things together, because a lot of times people don't grow, and some people like to do it together. You know,
yes,
don't like it individually. They want to see other people doing it as well.
Absolutely.
So when I'm going to start my Heal, Grow, Transform Academy, where I'm going to be enlisting some women. But I still do individual coaching right now, the 6-week transformation coaching sessions. So you can definitely hit me up about those as well. But until then, definitely jump on my Instagram, my Facebook. You can get in my group and into my DMs. I'll send you all the links that you need. I'm right there. I'm available. Thank you so much.
Yes. Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time and your dedication to helping the lives of other women and just, like I said, being so transparent and real. That's what we need in this world of, all the glitz and glam and all the things that people just don't know if it's real. That's not
Y'all
real
need to
life.
check my podcast. Check out my podcast. It's on Apple everywhere. Girl, Your
Mhm.
Journey Starts Here podcast. You will hear how real I am. Like, I don't sugarcoat anything in my healing. I don't play about that. And so y'all can, you can relate to me. You'll love what you hear. I promise you won't be disappointed.
Excellent. I love it. Well, I'm definitely going to be tuning in myself and hopping on your list. So, again, thank you so much for your time. Y'all definitely connect with Olivia. She's amazing. She's an amazing transformational coach, and she's just an amazing woman, y'all. We're in a blessed time that we can connect with people. We don't live in the same state, we've never met in person, but the thing is we can still bless one another, still encourage one another, because I firmly believe that it does take a village, and I believe iron sharpens iron, and we can do this thing called life much better when we do have people that we can be accountable to and have mentors and mentees and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's really important. And again, thank you so much. We're going to let you guys go. We hope that you found some value. Definitely catch the replay if you weren't able to catch it live. Just hashtag value, hashtag replay. Let us know that you were able to see it and that you were able to relate to it. But we appreciate you. This is another Aspire Thursdays. We believe that you are your best investment. Your health is your wealth. So definitely enjoy self-care, get the things that you need, get your mindset right so that you can achieve anything that you aspire to do. All right. Y'all have an amazing day.